I believe it should create some added value to make the people who do it and the employees having a better situation in life to improve their life. I think that creation, of course, doing business always seems to be to make money, to make profits. And I believe it's not that bad as it sounds. The profits are necessary to build up not only a company, but also generally society. Even the very early people did some kind of business to make their life easier and better, to improve the situation for the people. I believe you can be only successful by providing better answers than competition. That means surrounding the environment. And to do that in an organization, you need to have the right people and the right ideas, philosophy. I always said it's only two ingredients you need to be successful in a company. The one is to have the right people. That means good motivated, not always the very best people, the most intelligent, but the best motivated and of course well educated and experienced for their job. But you need a second source, and that is the general idea. That means the direction you should give to the organization. It's like in magnetism. I think you know that if you have a piece of iron, it has no magnetism normally because the molecules have a magnetism in itself, but all these magnets and the force is directed in different directions. As soon as you put that piece of iron together with a magnet, a strong magnet, external magnet, all these single elements, the molecules, all go then in one direction. In total, sum up in a strong force. And that is the same in a company. If the people go in the same direction, hopefully in the right direction, but at least in the same or about same direction, then it develops a strong force, and the strong force will then enable the organization, the company, to be successful. Again, a very difficult question. Give them a lot of money and free time and lazy job is not the answer. Sometimes the answer, I think, money will motivate. But I think it's, I could come back to the former question, and if the people have the feeling that they are working for a successful organization, that they are working for a common goal, which makes sense and which makes them, respectively the company, successful, is a very strong motivator. Of course, the payment should be okay, and the working time should be also okay, and the environment in the company should be okay, not too bad environment. All that adds to the motivation, but the strongest motivation are these mental motivations to be a member of a successful team. That's it. In a company, normally you measure the success. Coming back to the first question, also in the dividend, the company is paying, how much they create liquidity, and how they increase their turnover, and all these measures. I think that is still a good measurement for success. Of course, also combined with the long-term development. If a company follows the market trends and even sees future market trends in advance, has strong development, creates patents and good solutions. I think this is how a company is measured to be successful. And I think also here, coming back to the employees, they have a very good feeling beside of share price and these objective numbers, if a company is successful or not, if they are making improvements in many kinds, especially of course respect of the company goals, but also in the whole climate in the company, that will show if a company is successful or not. I think a leader should have, as I mentioned, clear ideas and should also transport that idea to his collaborators. That brings me back to that idea with that magnetism and to get the team, the members of the company, the employees of the company really working in the same direction and hopefully also that they can give back some feedback if the direction is no more the best one or considered to be the best one. I think this interaction, if that is really functioning, is really working well, that makes then the good leader. If the leader has the good idea, hopefully more than 50% right decisions. I think the leader should take decisions. I'm not totally, frankly speaking, for the full democracy in that leadership. I think at the end of the day, a good leader should take decisions, difficult decisions especially. The easy decisions, everybody can do that. But the difficult decisions, and the good leader means then that these difficult and heavy decisions are considered by the employees also to be the good or even the right decision. That is the best which can happen, yeah? That the leader takes strong decisions and the people, the employees, are finally having the idea that that have been the right decisions, really. I think the trust gets out of experience. Trust means that you don't intrigue, you don't use people against others, but they have the feeling that in difficult times, in good times it's easy, but in difficult times that you stand behind them, that they can trust on your assistance as the leader, and all that in difficult situations, difficult times. And if they have that experience, I think then it's easier for them, of course, to work and also make their decisions, especially if you do what I believe is the right thing, to let them go as long as possible and not to control all the actions of your people. And even if they make some not so positive decision themselves, that you are behind them, help them to stand that through. And with that experience, I think that is then finally the trust you have in your superior. And the same on the other side too. I think it's really the two sides of the coin, that you as the superior have to trust in your people and they have to trust in yourself, and that comes out of experience, I think. I believe to make a little positive input for the society in total, to use your life and your abilities to improve the life of the people in general. Of course, mainly of your family, the nearby, but even more of your friends, acquaintance. And if you come back to business, of your company, of the members of your company, of your colleagues, and of your community. It's a little bit too much of the world in total, but as a little sandcorn even. So, I really wanted to be successful, and I tried to be good during my studies, to be successful there, and later on to be successful in the company, to make a good career in the company, and beside that also to be successful with the family building. And I think, to be honest, I was very much on that material side. Of course, getting older, then you get a little bit away from that materialistic approach. I tried also to give back to society a bit more from what I got from the society. And my wife and me were quite happy with getting a lot of benefits from society, so we also have the burden to give something back, especially in that old days we are now. But to answer your question, really it was first that success. I ran behind success in school and in business, and to be critical, eventually a little bit too much on that side. Yeah. I think they can contribute very much. As also mentioned before, it's certainly not only money. Money is important. I think we shouldn't deny that. But I think companies today look anyway very different to companies, let's say 50 years ago. 50 years ago, there were, let's say, 90% focused on making money only, including their employees. And today it's different. I believe in the company's aims and goals is a much higher percentage now of goals which are immaterialistic and no longer only on dividends and money, but on the benefit of employees, of the benefit for communities and so on. Yeah. So they influence very much, and I believe on the other hand side, which sometimes we see that companies, industry is seen as the bad boys and girls. It's absolutely necessary to make social improvement. If companies are not successsul in an area, for example, or in a country, the social benefits and all that will also have problems, at least. So it needs that contribution of the companies anyway. And I believe in general companies do a little bit forced maybe, but also on their own. And that is sometimes underestimated and should be seen more positive. I have listened to a presentation of young gentlemen like yours who worked for the, it's called the Green Helmets. Have you heard about it? I didn't hear about it. It is a smaller, relatively small organization. They build up houses, buildings in Africa, so for schools or for hospitals. And they are specialized on building up really the building, the hardware there, and they employ young people who have some experience to build up that, but they do not build it up with only the colleagues from Europe, but with the local people. and employ them. They don't take government money, but work with the local people together, also to train them during that building process, to build later on such houses themselves. And that impressed me, for example, very much. If it's really close to the people who need some help. Not that general to send a check or somewhere there, and then it's organized by the big organization to bring that more or less to the people, but that direct involvement and that direct help, that is what impressed me the most. Very difficult to find such organizations, respectively such people who are really so much in that process and give real help, the long-term help to the people who need it. Yeah. There was the famous Saint-Exupéry, I think, who told you shouldn't organize the material only, but the idea to start a business or start something and make the people happy with the idea to do, in that case, the new business. If they all are happy with the concept, I think that is the basis. You can start a new business, and that's coming back to my simple recipe with the 2 ingredients. If you have the right team and you have the right idea, nothing can stop you to be successful. I think you have to respect the other countries' ideas and climate. As a young man, only a few years older than you, I was given a very important responsibility because I had to integrate, as they said, a French company, newly acquired, into a German. And everybody was very happy with what we did, because we introduced a new reporting system and straightened the organization, and everything what you find in the book to make a company successful was done by us, and I even got very much support and gratulation from very high person in the group. Wonderful. But the but comes, of course, now. The result of our reorganization was disastrous. The turnover of that company went down, the profit went down even more. What was the reason? We didn't respect their other tradition and their other appearance and the other environment. The cultural difference was immense. We were shocked when we came in the company at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody of the management was there. They came in at 9 o'clock. Then they went to have big meal at lunch from, let's say, 12:30 till 3 o'clock about, and all that was for us terrible bad, yeah? And we tried to change that. People were changed, but the culture behind the company was not seen and destroyed. And from more such experiences, especially from that very bad own experience, I came to the conclusion that you have to have people of the other country to run the business. For example, such wonderful people as you, Peter, in Czechia, yeah? And I believe I'm very successful and so on, but I'm quite sure I never would have been able to be successful in Prague, in Czechia. And I wouldn't be successful also in France, or maybe even in northern Germany. I respect very much the cultural differences. I think they are good, the cultural differences. And therefore what I did constantly, quite different to many other companies and groups, I always had a local guy to lead my local organization. So go to another country means to have local people there to run the company. would encourage them to go their own way, to be innovative, to be creative, follow their idea, and try to find collaborators to have the same ideas. To do it totally alone sometimes also works, but normally it works better if you find some colleagues to be also in your direction on the way, and if you can bundle these forces. Let's again take the magnetismus. If you have 3 or 4 or even 6 or 7 to be convinced of a good idea, just do it, but also work hard. That's another point. I think only the idea and it develops, like some of the big technology groups seem to have been successful. I believe what also is necessary, what I also would add to give them that advice, is not only the idea, but also work hard. It will be, and go through difficult time, be prepared to go through difficult times together with your team, with your colleagues. And then you will be successful, yes, pretty sure. So easy.
So just after the interview, I would really like to say thank you, because I think that your words can change way of thinking of my colleagues, other students. So I really want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you, Jakub. All the best.
For you too.
Be successful.